Hey guys, Dumb Body Guy here. Sorry about the big hair, but it is what it is. Uh, so this is Matthew 20. It's the parable where they hire the workers to work in the field. I just want to go through it. It's only 16 verses, that's it, so hopefully I can make this kind of quick. Alright. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire laborers to work in his vineyard. So who went out here? Who went out to hire these people? It was the landowner, the actual landowner. And that's important because later he sends somebody else out to gather laborers. So the landowner is going out the whole time hiring people. So keep that in mind. It's a landowner. Now when he agreed with the laborers for a denarius a day, he sent them into the vineyard. So he agreed with a certain price, send them out to work. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. So they're standing still, they're not doing anything. All over the Bible, he likes his people doing stuff. Like, just do stuff. That's what he wants you to do. You can look up the word idle, or like sometimes in the Bible it says, "My people have grown fat," which means they're getting lazy. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going. And he said to them, "You also go into the vineyard, and whatever is right I will give you." So they went. Again he went out about the 6th and the 9th hour, and did likewise. So he hired more people. The later in the day, he's hiring more people. You know, with a end time perspective, most of his parables have something to do with the end time, and you're gonna see this as we get on. But I want you to see that closer to the end, he's getting more and more and more workers. And about the 11th hour he went out and found more standing idle, and said to them, "Why are you standing here idle all day?" So all day long they've just been sitting there doing nothing. My version of that would be the equivalent of this. You're laying in bed or you're laying on the couch. Like, do stuff. Just get out and do stuff. Be so much healthier. They said to him, "Because no one has hired us." So no one has hired us. Nobody came to pick us up. Again, you're going to see, like, later in here, I talk about in a lot of my videos, like, us being saved, the definition of the word saved, or chosen. Like, somebody else is doing that for us. Just like here, hired. So nobody has hired us. Nobody's come to pick us. Nobody's come to chose us to work. Nobody chose us to do anything. We're just hanging out. So nobody has hired us. He said to them, "You also go into the vineyard, and whatever is right you will receive." So when evening has come, the landowner of the vineyard said to his steward, so now the landowner says to someone else, his steward, "Call the laborers and give them their wages, beginning last to the first." He sends a steward to call the laborers and give them their wages. So he's telling somebody else to get the laborers to get them their reward. So end times thing, I feel like this has to do with like Matthew 24:31. "And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds of heaven, from one end of heaven to the other." So he sent somebody else to gather the people that he has chosen. This is Matthew 24. This is end time stuff. But that's this parable. And when those came who were hired about the 11th hour, they each received a denarius. But when the first came, they supposed that they should receive more, and they likewise received each a denarius. So everybody gets the same reward here. But these people that started working first, well, we'll see it. "And when they received it, they complained against the landowner," not the steward, the landowner. The person that went out hiring, that's who they complained to, not the steward. "Saying, 'These men have worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden in the heat of the day.' But he answered one of them, saying, 'Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take what is yours and go your way. I wish to give this to the last man as the same as you.' Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with my own things? So these guys are complaining, and he's telling them, hey, that was our agreement. That's our original agreement. This is what happens. Now, I know people talk about like being saved, and if you watch any of my other videos, you know how I feel about that. But the people are saved, they can get saved right at the end, and you know, some people get saved early in their life. Like, you know, like somebody's gonna die and they pray and they get saved or whatever. That's what they say. This is just like the parable of the prodigal son. So you have the son that goes out and does whatever, and then he comes back to work in the house for his father, and you know, the older brother is upset because he's been there the whole time. And his brother comes back, and he's mad at him because he gets this big dinner and everything. And you know, it's the exact same thing. You have the person that worked the longer that's upset with the person that didn't work. You know what I mean? As long. And I think that has to do with, but the people that have been doing, you know, his commandments the longest, you know. And then you got people like me that just started doing them, you know. There's some people that were just born into it, and they've been doing them a long time. I had a conversation with a Jewish guy when I was on vacation once. I've seen the tassels and everything, and I went over. I was like, "Hey, man," you know, because it was Passover, and I was talking to him, and I was just like, "No, it's great. You know, you're doing Passover and everything." And I said to him, "I try to keep the commandments too." He goes, "Why would you do that? That's such a burdensome." And I'm like, well, you guys do like the Talmud, which is, I think, their tradition-y book, you know. I just do the Torah. Whatever it says, I do it, and I don't make it burdensome because it's not supposed to be burdensome. Or is your eye evil because I am good? So the last will be first, and the first will be last. For many people are called, but few chosen. If you watch my video on the perspective of few or something like that, you could go watch that video. But few is not a big number that are chosen here. Okay, so this parable here, we just read the whole thing, and let's see what they didn't do here. You got all these laborers that got called, some in the morning, some midday, some right at the end of the day. They all get called for laboring in this field. Where does it say that they sit in the lawn chair next to the field and do nothing? It doesn't say that. Where does it say that they say 5 verses in Romans and do absolutely nothing and they still get the denarius? Does it say that? Does not say that. All these people here that went into the vineyard to work, to actually do stuff, has faith that they were going to get that denarius at the end of the day. Granted, some people were irritated because they thought they should get more because they worked longer, but everybody here was working. If all these people didn't have faith that they were going to get paid, would they, if there was a question they were going to get paid, do you think they'd go into the vineyard and work all day? No. They had faith that they were going to get paid, so they went in to do work. You know, just like James 2, I will show you my faith by my works. He puts it in these terms so it's easy. I keep saying that. It's like, you go to work every day, right? Yeah, because you have faith that you're going to get paid at the end of the week or whenever it is. Technically in the Bible, one of the commandments, which I really want to start teaching, which I know doesn't really work in today's society, says that when you hire someone and they do labor, you're supposed to pay them that day. So, alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I helped out, and have a good day.